brings back the rush of young, wild and free. Where his kisses were fierce and oh so sweet, and life was blasted on with a hard rock beat on MTV. His eyes, they held the sunset's glow, warm and deep, they were a part of my soul. With every look he'd let me know his love was as real as old rock and roll. In his embrace, it takes me back to that place we found our tune. Rhythm of rock and roll beats radiant underneath the soft glowing moon. We found peace and love with stars written under that soft glowing moon. It was a cold night in the middle of June. The laughter in the summer night's cool air, memories of us without a single care. A time when we both had no fear. The memories reminiscence of the time in our early years. The memories of a first love's embrace. Thinking of a time in a much simpler place. He's got a smile that sang to me, brings back the rush of young, wild and free. Where his kisses were fierce and oh so sweet, and life was blasted on with a hard rock beat on MTV. We found peace and love with stars written under that soft moon. It was the coldest night in the middle of June. Under the silver glow of the moonlit stage, our hearts beat loud. Now the memory is refusing to age. In the rhythm of that night, we found escape. A melody of love in every mixtape. A dance of our dark shadows flooding my mind. A melody, a memory of the sweetest kind. With you, every song we rocked back then, it felt so right. Under the glowing moon's big spotlight, only you and I, with a melody never said goodbye. I'll cherish that memory in the beat of my heart and keep it alive. Moon, it was the coldest night in the middle of June. Now it's the final note time, our melody begins to fade away in the quiet afterglow where our shadows used to play. All the music is ended in my heart, you'll forever stay. Moving forward with your memory leading the way. Let's spend love story, I sing this song. Moving forward but caring, never losing the memory of our bittersweet love journey along. A bridge between the past and what was left to come. In the melody of us, our hearts once beat as one suns. He's got a smile that sang to me, brings back the rush and young, wild and free. Where his kisses were so sweet, and life was blasted on with a hard rock beat on MTV. His eyes, they held the sunset's glow, more than teeth, they were a part of my soul. With every look, he'd let me know his love was as real as old. But we've turned the page to a brand new day. There's a melody that never fades away. Underneath the moon where we once danced free, I'll carry us forward, you'll always be part of me now. As the moon fits the night into, the melody lingers on. Our soundtrack is so true through every verse. They say the
We'll play the next song in a little bit. That's my first mixtape. It's a Please Go Like It. It's a video of songs I wrote, all but one. ChatGPT wrote one. I'll let you know throughout the live. I'm going to play them tonight. Okay. So tonight I'm actually not going to start with summer. We're going to jump around. We're going to cover summer. But I'm going to cover another missing kid, and I'm going to cover summer while I cover this missing kid. Because this is Elaine. It's something I've thought about often through actually, let's start with summer. Let's start with Squall. This was a live that Squall did. I believe Chasing Truth, Duchess, CSI, I think. There was a few people on panel when Squall went off the rails and just started showing like Discord, and she was like talking about hide and seek, how Chris McDonough talks about it, but saying how it was played in Minecraft. And she started to explain, no, I don't know how much of this I have. This is a good portion of it. I don't think it's the whole thing. But this was a video I made where she describes how she pays people for Discord servers. The reason I bring this up is because today we will start with the other kid. This is a 24-minute video. This child's missing. This is the link. You guys need to share this. This is scary. A1 sent me this actually, and I'd like to thank her for doing so. And I think everybody needs to share this video.
Tens of thousands of cases we've come across where young people have been groomed on the platform and sometimes abused by predators. There's a case developing in New York, out on Long Island in Suffolk County, that we need your help with. A young man, 50-year-old Thomas Medlin, has been missing since January 9th after having a discussion on Roblox with someone, after telling people in his circle of friends that he was going to meet this person that he initially met on Roblox. His family is, as you can imagine, beside themselves. And it's important that we and you, as my viewers and my team, do everything we can to help in this situation. Eva Yan is Thomas's mother, and she's kind enough, brave enough to sit with me now. Eva, thank you for joining me here and having a seat.
Thank you for having me, Chris.
What is the latest? What do we know about where Thomas might be and where he was last seen? Bring me up to speed here.
Based on the latest update this week, Thomas was still information from Friday, the day he was missing. He was spotted on Cherry Street and Roddick Street. That was the last pin of the phone.
And that's in Brooklyn, correct?
That's in the that was in the Manhattan Bridge, in the Lower East Manhattan, and as soon as in that neighborhood after the Manhattan Bridge.
So this lady's going to tell you they're a family. They must have money. They travel often. Her son travels. He's 15. She goes on to tell you how smart he is, but he's not that smart. He's smart, but he went off to meet somebody they think from Roblox. I couldn't imagine being this mother. She's made many videos. You don't see a lot of tears from her, but she's crying and she's being completely honest. She says she has parental controls on her son's tablets and devices and his Roblox. She thought she had a good handle on it. Kid made emails and Discord she didn't know about. He's 15. These kids are smart. These computers are smart. You saw this, Gene? It's frightening. We're going to watch this whole video, but the reason I really want to cover this is because this is something I fear in Summer's case. You have people like Squall playing games and inserting themselves, but I want you to hear what Squall does on her side as a side job. I also want you to think back and remember that the boys were playing Minecraft at the time of Summer's disappearance. That worries the fuck out of me. Could Josie and Waylon and Wyatt said, oh, that's just my little kid sister. She ran down the basement and somebody said, snatch. Let me put this on.
I just I can do game coding on private game servers because it's like copy and paste. People will be like, "Well, if you can do that, you can do anything." Well, all it is copy and paste. I've got, my Discord that I follow, the ones that are really tech savvy in game coding, and they drop the cheats, and all I do is I copy those and I paste it over, one of the current codes in the game, and that's all there is to it. I mean, it's really easy. And I do that, for I started doing it for the grandbabies because, I would game with them. And one evening we were online gaming, and it was their bedtime.
Lisa K, you bitch, if you're out there listening, Squall tells you her age. She's pushing 50. She ain't the 80-year-old woman you and you fucking people keep trying to fucking send me for some reason as a setup. Edith, is that her name? So please stop that rumor. Squall was not Edith. She's gonna tell you her age in this live. Fucking idiots.
Time for them to get ready for bed so they could go to school the next morning, and I stayed on playing. And I ran into a couple of other online gamers, and I turned my mic on and spoke to them for a minute, and then I went back on mute, and they were like following me, and they were telling me, that my voice was sexy and everything, and I was like, what the crap, and
Yeah.
and it was just like, I was just like moving along and everything, killing zombies and stuff, and they were following me. And one of them said,
It drives me crazy, Gene. My granddaughter has Roblox, but my son keeps telling me it's not one she can talk to other people on. It's on a gaming system, this, that, and the other. I absolutely hate that they let her play it. However, much like the lady, we're going to listen to this in a minute. We're going to listen to the whole thing. But much like that lady, my daughter-in-law has my grandbaby stuff is all kids. It's kids YouTube, it's kids this, it's kids that. All the parental controls are on. But these kids are so smart. Like, look, I caught my husband cheating on me. They're just as smart as a dirty ass fucking husband making Dateline profiles that can go make their own email address that you, the parent, never knows about and just goes and signs up and plays it without the parent knowing. These kids aren't stupid. They're brought up on computers. Someone called him. Wow. See, my grandbabies played in the room with us. They're only allowed on their phones when they're in a room with us. We watch everything they do. And I do catch my granddaughter, boy. She's sneaky. She'll watch some shit. And you gotta, like, she's really into, I'll catch her all the time trying to watch videos of, like, girls having babies and they think it's cute. It's not that the videos are horrible. It's just, it's for older teenagers. It's not for her. You know what I mean? So I have to constantly take it off of her, and that's when my daughter-in-law started putting her parental controls on. Like, that shit's on lock. But hearing this about this little boy, man, I'm telling you, kids are smart. Kids are smarter than you think. Them parental controls ain't stopping a 15-year-old, a 12-year-old, a 13-year-old, even a 9-year-old. I think my granddaughter could probably make an email.
how old are you? And the other one was like, oh, she's not an adult. You can tell with that voice, she's not even an adult. And I was like, what the heck? I'm pushing 50. And like, just listening to them in my headset, and then they said, well, she's probably a
You hear that, Lisa? She's pushing 50, not 100. You dumb fuck. Hope you heard that.
Virgin, and the guy's
Oh
like,
my
"Oh, be
God.
quiet." She probably don't even know what the word virgin means. You
Jeez.
know, and I am just sitting
Oh
there
my
like,
goodness.
Nobody knows for sure, Moonshine Girl. She went to Dawn and Candace's house under the name Heather Lachlan or something. To me, it sounded like Melrose Place name, like she was making it up. That's what they told Queen Bee. Queen Bee and I had some conversations about that when we were trying to figure it out. However, I think I found her. I have pictures of her beat up that match images of a woman named Rebecca Crawford. And Squall has said that that's her, but then she took all of her lives down. And Kathy, the friend, has said she is who people were saying she is, and she done something real bad to her babies and all this other stuff. But no, I'm gonna stick with I believe she's Rebecca Crawford, the Kingpin's ex-wife or wife. Um, his name's Robert Gene Crawford. Yeah, he used to go up. He's dead now, by the way, but he used to go up to, I'm hearing, Light Hauler. He was very well known up there. And when I say Kingpin, you can sort of get the fucking gist of it. But yes, I believe that's who she is. TT and I have had many conversations about it. You can go read those. Just go into my search bar and put TT messages. You'll find it. It'll come right up. Okay. But anyways, back to Squall and her weird collecting of children in Discord servers.
It's dangerous out there,
I
man.
mean, the
Yes, it
chills,
is.
I mean, the hairs on my arms and my neck stood up, and I was like, I logged off, and I was like, it's time for some changes, with the grandbabies. I don't want them hearing that kind of language. And I got to look, and online gaming is a high.
She's going to tell you what games they were playing. Let me tell you that they're all rated mature. She's talking about she don't want the grandbabies to hear that language, but both of these games she mentions, Daisy, I think is name of one of them, Dayz, and then another one. I don't know. Listen, I might even have the name wrong, but I looked both up. They're both very mature content. Very mature content that she's telling you she's playing with her grandbabies, but doesn't want the grandbabies hearing cussing. Alrighty then. What happened to Super Mario Brothers and Sonic? Anybody remembers the Sega Genesis? That was like my favorite. And my two favorite games were Aladdin and A Lion King.
I'm
Very
sorry.
high human trafficking organization
Yep.
for online gaming. And
It's a nest
I
for
looked up
predators.
I looked up how to rent a private game server for just, select people that you want to game with and nobody else, no strangers. And it's only like $13 a month. And you can rent a game.
Squall, you're the stranger. You're going to your friends, setting it up for their kids, and their kids are inviting friends. You say it, you explain it. You're the stranger. Stranger danger. You're talking people's parents into this, and you're gathering children. This is the world's most scariest fucking thing. It's gross.
Server, and you can switch your game over. It's like we were playing DayZ, and we got the games Conan Exiles, and they were wanting to play that, and so I switched the game over. I took off the DayZ and I put up Conan Exiles. We played that for a month, and they was wanting to go back to DayZ, and I was able to reinstall our DayZ game right where we left off, so it didn't even wipe that data. And I was like, heck yeah. And I've told friends about it, and they've kind of hired me, to help them with their children's game servers. And I charge them, what I do is I've rented them for a year, and then ever how much, they can afford to pay at a time. If, I charge them the actual price of the game server, and if they want to donate me any extra money for doing the settings and everything and controlling it, and I teach the parents I teach them how to download the gaming apps on their phones, and they can log in on their phone at any time and listen to what their kids are talking about in game. And I do it for donations. I don't charge. I do it, I charge them for the cost of the server, of course, because I can't afford that.
Right.
But for all the other services and stuff, I just, they give me donations.
So she's taking donations to collect your children. Please pay me to make them a private Discord. They can invite all their friends. Trust me. Trust me with your children. I'll go in there and game with them every day. And then those children invite children. I think she said there's allowed 13 children in each one. It's $13.99 a server. She does it all the time. This is how children are trafficked. This is how children are kidnapped. I don't care if she gives the parents the app to download and listen. You're convincing the parents you're doing that. And then you're not speaking. My coffee's done. You're not speaking to the friends' parents and letting them know that their children are in Discord with a stranger. Were you talking to Josie in a chat or something the day Summer went missing, Squall?
And it's something, if you're a parent or a grandparent or an aunt or uncle out there and your child is into online gaming, I highly, highly, highly recommend, for $13 a month, you and a couple of other parents of your child's friends can get together and pitch in on that. And it's even cheaper than 13 a month. And that's for a 10-person server. 10 gamers can get on there, usually for that price. Sometimes it's less depending on the game. And you can protect your child. They can get on there and play with their friends, and it's stress-free. You don't have to worry about them learning bad language or being sought after for human trafficking. And that's every person's worst fear when it comes to their child or to a loved one that's a minor.
So is she trying to garner donations for people on YouTube so she can gather their children? Like, hey, Shay, trust me, give me your children. I'm sorry, that's gross. And I'm going to show you why. This is a prime example. I'm going to sit back, come down, and we're just going to listen.
Got it. So after that, theoretically, he might have gone to Brooklyn or stayed in that area. We're not quite
Yeah, we are not sure at this time.
What do we know about Thomas's activity on Roblox? As I mentioned, and as you know, Roblox has faced a lot of criticism because it has become a place where predators can target young people. And on the surface, Thomas doesn't look like somebody who is vulnerable, somebody who would be a young man who would get in trouble like this, because he's smart. He goes to a great school. He's had world experiences with his family. What do you know about this person he might have been communicating with on Roblox?
So Thomas, like you said, he's very intellectual, smart. since he was a baby. The first book we bought for him said, "Don't talk to strangers." We have been talking to him, said that, online, very dangerous. Even somebody we talk to pretending, like say 10 years old, 15, so maybe 50, 60. So we have been telling him nonstop. And he's a very smart. Sometimes when I'm walking with him on the street, he would tell me, sometimes say hi to strangers, say hello. And he would stop me, say, "Mom, you don't have to be that friendly when you don't know somebody." That's my boy. He has been a world traveler, to Europe, Asia, Canada, everywhere. So he's smart enough, but he's a teenager. End of the day, he's not fully matured. He's going to puberty. He's going through stress from school, from all this, he has expectation at him. So that's something maybe I don't know who's out there. Maybe say, "Oh, I can support you, going through the stage." I'm not sure. But from what we know, Thomas, he's smart enough. That's why I was shocked when he told people, say, I met somebody through Roblox. I'm going to meet this person. That was a shocking to me and his dad, my husband.
Now, what did you know, Eva, about his activity on Roblox? I mean,
So what she's saying is that her son's friend, hey Lisa, came up to her and had said, he told me, I can't remember the kid's name. This is a brand new case. I'll have to listen. But the kid's friend came up to the mother and had said, hey, he told me he's going to meet somebody he met on Roblox. There's definite proof his phone pinged at certain places on a bridge. This is crazy. This little boy just disappeared on, I think they said January 9th. I could be wrong. Keep listening. They keep saying it. Hey, Sam Wilkins, how are you? Okay, let's turn it back on.
Obviously, this is a game that is geared and marketed to children as young as 5. It's wildly popular with tens of millions of children going to this gaming platform every single day. Were you aware of his activities? Did you know what he was doing? Did you have the parental controls set up?
So I don't know any activity in Roblox. The first time when he set up Roblox, when we bought his phone, we hold the phone until the age 2 years ago. He didn't have iPhone. We were really in strict control. I was advised by friend, people, teachers that he should have a phone to be communicate that age. That's why we bought him a phone. So when we set up his phone, we set up all the control. My friend even helped me. And also when he set up Roblox early on, the email come to me, personal email. So if he need to change a password or something, I will receive a notification. So I was under the impression that was the Roblox. And then sometime once a while, I received the Roblox communication say somebody trying to log into account from Philippines all the time. So, and I said, "Thomas, did you try to log into Roblox? You're trying to play that game again?" Because we control the game. We don't want him under social media, whatever, a lot, And he said, he laughed at it. He said, "Mom, do you think I would be in Philippines?" So I was under the impression everything was going to go until this whole thing happened. We found out he had another 4 different Roblox accounts, including the one I set up.
4 different Roblox accounts.
Yeah, none of this information come to me, and we didn't even know how this Roblox account was set up without the parental control. How can I never receive the email say, "Hey, under this account, seems there was a new email set up." Anything, I would think something would come to me, I would be notified. No, nothing. Everything.
See? So the kid had to have gone in and made his own email accounts that the parents didn't know about and more Roblox accounts that weren't no longer connected. So when a child does that, the parental controls are gone. There is no parental control. There has to be something like face recognition or something, an ID show when you play these games. I think somebody, an adult over the age of 18, needs to show their state ID to give permission to play these games and to let them know where they're at. But this kid, you're going to hear what she's going to say coming up, because I've listened to this whole thing already, is she's going to tell you it's hard. Discord don't want to help, and Roblox don't want to help. They're only giving so much information. She doesn't believe what they're saying. They're not giving information to the police. And now it seems like to me the police are having a hard time getting this kid's online information, which is another fucking problem in our country and all over the world. Right? Yes, Jean. Kids are so smart on these games. Listen, my son plays Fortnite, my older son with kids. He plays it with his kids in the room. And there was a night in particular, this little boy came on. The kid couldn't have been more than 5 years old. As a matter of fact, I think he told my son he was 5 while he was playing Fortnite. And my son really don't like talking to the younger kids, but he had noticed that other older kids were cussing and shit. So my kid stayed behind while they were playing, and he was like, hey, he's 5, leave him alone, quit cussing like that, I'm friendly, you know how they do, I'm friendly or whatever. And I was really proud of my son for doing that. But it really blew me away how easy a 5-year-old, no parents are around, and this little 5-year-old's on there on this remote control just talking. He could be saying, I live in California. I have the brown house. I heard. I haven't followed that case, but now that he's arrested, I'm going to go do a refresh. Yep, they shut one down and 10 to pop up in its place, and you got people like Squall buying them and inviting your children to them. Hopefully justice will be served for Jack and Lily Kylie. I really need to catch up. I haven't watched that case since like week 1. I didn't want to get involved right then because all the same creators and lawsuits, and I'm feeling a little bit better though these days. You see, I'm willing to cover other cases now, and I love it. I think it's important we get these missing kids out there. This little boy is missing, so let me finish getting his story out.
In the dust, everything, no information whatsoever. Until this time happened, it was like 5 Roblox account. I was shocked. I still think it was a new Roblox account nobody even know about. Like, so that's what I'm aware.
Well, kids are tricky, and they don't see the danger in front of them, especially at the age of 15. We know young men don't fully mature until they're 25. So a smart kid at Thomas's age is crafty, and he doesn't see the danger in doing this. He thinks it's an adventure.
Yeah, because what happened, so my son also, he is smart. He doesn't use any social media. He doesn't use this TikTok. He doesn't even use much Snapchat. He was the one who told me, said, Mom, you got to be careful with the social media, because when you go to college is going to check on all this social media. What you randomly speak, it's not right. He was the one who talked to me like that. I said, you're so smart. I said, Mom is not a social media. I don't have a Facebook. I don't have any social media usage. I only use Chinese WeChat, but I know my friends. That's what I'm using. And also, I have control of his phone every night. Every night before he went to bed, by 10:30, 11, he handed me that phone. I charged the phone. I said, I charge your phone for you. And I have his password for the phone. I know the password. I check on the text message, and I check on whatever he's using. But there's so much information for the Apple apps, hiding information for the kids. It's impossible for the parent to know what's behind it, what he's hiding. Yeah.
And what have authorities told you so far? What have the police said to you about this investigation? What do they?
So for Roblox this week, the lead detective, informed me to receive the information from Roblox. They said they didn't find anything suspicious. They have a fully cooperated for the, law enforcement. So I was advised. But from my inside of my heart, knowing all this side information I research online, he was able to surpass my security, create all this password. I don't think so. I think there's more out there. I mean, police officer, detective have been very active in looking for information, mentioning that there's something really disturbed me during this investigation. I know detectives also have been very active working on it day and night. I mean, I thank them from my heart. But during this process, it has been extremely difficult, even for the law enforcement, get the required information like from Discord, even from like a Brawl Star, from Roblox in the beginning, from the phone company like a Minko, took them for weeks to get the information. Even the subpoenas have been submitted. So far, the two still out there for the law enforcement to get the information. One is the Discord, one was a Brawl Star. The subpoenas was submitted on the 14th. As of today, 28th, the detective have not received any information, critical information.
Roblox has said that it's taken a look at Thomas's accounts, or the accounts that they're aware of. And Roblox has said that they find no evidence of any inappropriate communications, no direction to go offline to another site like Discord, and no conversations that are outside of the normal gaming conversations. Do you trust Roblox, given everything that's happened on that platform?
For my heart, I don't, because if everything's like as I said, they should have a security feature monitoring. He's only 15. He played way before this. How could he was able to bypass parental control? No security feature has been put in place to inform the parent, what this kid is doing. Why he needs to set up 5-6 different accounts? That was my first, doubt. Why needed to be? And also, some of his friends wasn't even playing with him a year already in Roblox. They have been friends, played for so long. Why we couldn't be able to know, like a year later, he's still playing Roblox, but we don't know the account.
We've been investigating Roblox for months, and recently Roblox has enacted age verification and some other security measures, but whatever they put into place didn't work in this case. And this is a recent case.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know information for sure, but what I went through, trying to break into his Roblox account with the older officer detective, they even create the account, trying to log into the themselves, and it has been very difficult. It's, there was no centralized place under Thomas Medlin. With one of the key stuff as a parent, we know if you come to me say, all right, Thomas Medlin, there's one ID, doesn't matter what he did, what account he set up. If you come to the parent, if we need the information, we'll be able to spot him easily. That wasn't the impression at all. We were not trying to find out another account we will know. Detective will ask me, and another thing we can be provided was like searching the wild goose. That was definitely the impression.
Are you satisfied with what Roblox has done so far to help you find Thomas?
From my heart, I'm not, because I work in a corporation, so I know there's probably a lot more that can investigate. So we can look deeply more, maybe to overlooked something, it's like something should be deeply further because I have a missing child. I think if they have a people in the company, regional finder of Roblox, they will do it now more than this. That's my heart feeling.
What have Thomas's friends said to you about this?
I was informed from the detective, said he spoke to somebody from school, said, I met somebody, through Roblox, a friend, and I want to meet this person. And I believe this person told Thomas, say, don't go, it's not safe out there. You gotta watch out. That was all after this happened. I wasn't informed before. And he did ask me before the new year, even after the new year, he was looking excited to go to Times Square. And I was wondering, I said, who told you about the Times Square? He said, my friend. And we brought him to the city when he was young, for watch all the Broadway show, all the slides. And I said, sure. I said, I will bring you. But he was excited. And thinking backwards, because, I talked to my family, friends, detectives. They said that maybe he trying to get familiar with the train stations, the subway, because he has never taken a train, never he never took a subway by himself until the whole thing. Never. Because he's always next to me, next to my husband. Never left as I on the side.
So as far as we know, he leaves your town on January 9th and he takes the train to Grand Central. And what do we know from there?
Based on all the investigation, he took the train to, first of all, arrived in Jamaica. And then he asked one of the students from Stony Brook School how to get to Grand Central. That's the first time he went to Grand Central. I never took him to Grand Central Station. So when he went to the Grand Central, and he was still smart in the camera because he was asking two officers. He was asking the people working the booth how to get to downtown Manhattan. And because I told him, when you ask, if you want to take a train by yourself in the future, you don't.
So she's telling you law enforcement has video of this kid going to the workers at Grand Central Station and asking how to get to Manhattan. His phone pings there, so the parents didn't do nothing to this kid. That's fact. I'd like law enforcement to do a press conference. I haven't looked that far into it. I plan to. But this is crazy to me. Little boy not little boy, he's 15, but Sebastian's age. But just gets playing online. Friends are saying he's going to meet somebody he met on Roblox, but they can't find the Roblox account this kid used. That's a little odd. But he's pinging in Grand Central, which is nowhere near their home. He took a train. They have him on camera talking to the people at Grand Central.
Ask stranger, you ask, the officers, you ask people working the station. That would be safer. He did that in the Grand Central. So he was taking subway 57 to get to a subway. Finally, he arrived in Brooklyn High Street and on the subway. Then he got to the Manhattan Bridge. That was the latest information I was informed.
And what was the last conversation, Eva, that you had with Thomas?
Last conversation we had a multiple conversation throughout the time, but he was telling me, Mom, starting this week, Friday, I like to study more. I like to set up a new year. I will hang out with friends, you go to pick me up at like 9 p.m., maybe 11 p.m. I will let you know if I need to change the time. He said, I like to stay in the campus more, which I support that social, interaction. My boy, intellectually, he's very philosophical thinker, way above his age. So that's why he doesn't connect a lot with the peers, because he's like one side of his brain is almost like grow up, 20-some years old. He will have a 3-hour full conversation with a grow up, like face to face, very calm. So I was really supportive of that. I said, that's good for you, Thomas. Childhood, play with friends, go out dinner. So that was the conversation we had. On the day when he was leaving on Friday, he got up 5:30, which he never did. I also woke him up around 7. I want him to have good sleep. And that day he got up 5:30, was excited, was happy on his face, like there's something happy. And, went to school. We cooked the full breakfast with pancakes and like that. I didn't say anything unsuspect that day, but look happy, got up early.
So he was happy that day. He got up extra early. You had breakfast together. He went to school and you didn't see him after that.
No, and I was able to trace his phone. I found my location around 3:16, 17. He was by the school, by the tennis court, and I showed my husband, and I said, look at him. Maybe he's playing tennis with his friend. He said he's a tennis player, and I was excited. But in 2 minutes, blink my eye, I got a cup of water. He shut down the GPS. Yeah.
So he turned it off.
And I even asked my husband, why did he do that? But he started doing that last year, around October, November. And he said, I said, why did you turn off find my location? He said, Mom. I said, if something happened, police not going to be able to trace your location. That's not smart. And he said, Mom, I'm in school. I'm safe in school. Why you need to track me? But he started doing that. He never did that before.
How would you best describe Thomas to somebody who's never met him?
My Thomas is a very kind, respectful, and a wonderful boy. That's crossed everybody has met so far. That's why there's so many bombarded social media on him. When people found out that Thomas, everybody was shocked, couldn't believe it. Everybody he interacted with all through now, absolutely devastated because he's such a kind soul. He's really beyond. When I think about him, I miss him so much. And he keeps telling me, Mom, I'm a wonderful boy. You just don't know. I know in your heart, you think it was a lot more better kids. He's like, he never loved us. Always go to school, come home, go to tennis, take piano lesson, take Chinese lesson, well routine. And always by outside, sitting by this dining table here, doing his homework. And by the living room, we set up the fireplace. He never hid in his room, was like really a wonderful boy. And my friend told me he's another people's child. Always told me, extremely considerate. Always think about you before himself. That's his problem. Never think about himself. And very smart. I maybe now showing directly from his grades, but he has half of him. I received a lot of compliment from people, like teacher, graduate from Harvard say, what a wise, intelligent young man you have. What a good boy you raised.
Well, Eva, as a parent myself, even though my guys are older, they're adults now, I ache for you because I can only imagine what these days have been like. And I'm with you. I pray for you. I hope that, we figure this out in a very positive way. If Thomas sees this or hears this, and this will get a lot of play on social media and a lot of people who are involved in the Roblox case, what is your message to Thomas?
My message for him, from me as a mom, from dad, from everybody, from his 姐姐, Jinjin 姐姐, I'm speaking Chinese because that's what I call my niece, his sister, his uncles in China, aunts in China, everybody from Canada that's all flying over today is, we deeply, deeply love him. He's a wonderful boy. And whatever he did, I'm not mad at all. Nobody's mad at him. We want him to come home and also send us a message. He's safe. Mommy only worry about his safety. If he's safe, Mommy understand fully what he's doing. If he need to take time to think through, sort things out, fully support. But I want him to be, safe. And whenever he's ready, tell us, we will pick him up. And we love him, especially Mom. Loves him more than my life. I'm willing to God exchange my life for my boy's safety with her. There's too many people loves him, and he's loved. And his cat, he has a cat. He loves the cat. He adopted the cat. His cat is since he has been out of home, looking for him every day by the door. She doesn't know what to do. So Thomas, please come home. Everybody loves you. Cat misses you. And you're not in trouble at all.
And Eva, what do you say to Roblox?
I really, as a mom, broken heart, going through everything like hell. I want the company, all the social media, like Brawl Star, Discord, this kind of company. Why you make your business, but think about the humanity side of the business. You have to think about that's the human beings. Okay, make money is important, but think about so many family have kids. What the safety, what you can do. So why the kids come play, enjoy, but the big side is humanity, care for people. Life should be incorporated into your corporation. That's the whole message to all the family, to the world. You gotta, that's a part of your agenda. You gotta be on your to-do list. That's something the top senior management or even the board, You don't just look for your business, your stock. You got to think about what a family going through, what's out there can take the kids, no safety. It's a nightmare for all the parents. You got to set up a security feature when you do anything. Set up the parental control until they're old enough to be on their own. That's my message to the company.
Eva Yan, we're going to do the best we can to help you. In the meantime, as a parent, my heart breaks for you. I pray for you, and I just really hope that there's a positive outcome here, and we're going to do everything we can in our power to help you. God bless you, and we'll stay in touch, okay?
And also, he's rather allergic to tree nuts. That's why I cannot sleep, because, he's fatally allergic to tree nuts. I usually take care of his, food, diet, everything. I watch out. So whoever this person is staying with, please care for my son. We'll be thankful. We will do anything to thank you. Just care for my boy.
And to be aware of the allergies.
Very, yeah.
Okay. Eva Yan, thank you so much.
So that's that segment. Now, if you guys don't mind, I'm going to share the second song. I wrote this song for my subs. Please give my video a like, share, and then we are going to move on to Dawn Wells.
World's a canvas, often gray with pain, but I'll paint my path in vibrant tones. The sun shining and the rain. With every stroke of kindness, a new shade comes alive. Against the canvas of the heartless, it's how we survive. They try to paint me in the gray, dim my inner light, but I choose colors on my soul to fight the dark with bright. For every tear that's fallen, I will draw my strength. Living in a world full of gray, I wanna paint you in my brightest colors every day. Through the shadows we'll find our way, turning night into our brightest display. Living in a world that's turned to gray, I'll paint you with my colors to light your way. Beyond the shadows, we'll make our play, turning light into a vibrant ballet. In shadows deep, where silence speaks, I find my voice in hues a spectrum wide. From deep inside, reflecting every choice I use. The night may fall with challenges, so yet in my heart a light. It guides me through, forever true, a beacon shining bright. With each day's dawn I carry on, my canvas ever clear. Each color tells a story, whispered soft and true. In every line, a promise of starting fresh and new. The world outside may shudder under clouds so dense, dead against the grain. Oh, gold outside may shudder under clouds. I'll paint my joy, a bold and bright defense, a tapestry of tomorrow in hues that I borrow. The brain may try to claim me, it's extends so fast, but in my heart are right colors that will last. I dance between the raindrops, painting as I go, in defiance of the sorrow, letting my colors show. Living in a world full of gray, I wanna paint you in my brightest colors every day. Through the shadows we'll find our way, turning night into our brightest display. Living in a world that's turned to gray, I'll paint you with my colors to light your way. Beyond the shadows we'll make our play, turning life into a vibrant day. Shadows speak, but silence speaks. I find my voice in hues a spectrum wide from deep. Through the shadows we'll find our way, turning night into our brightest display. Living in a world that turns to gray, a world paint you with my brightest colors every day. Through the shadows, we'll find our way, turning night into a bright day. Beyond the shadow, when we got we were just kids.
This podcast. If live breaking news and following true, catch the replay. Awesome. So I've been seeing a lot of things. Actually, I haven't been seeing them, but my husband's been pointing them out to me. So thank you, honey, for pointing these out. But there's some videos out there that are claiming a lot of crazy things as fact, like straight up as fact. And the ones that I heard today bothered me. And so I gave Don a call because why not get it from the horse's mouth, right? So the first thing was the connection to Rose Bly was one of them. Another one was that a YouTuber was saying that the Wells, Don and Candace, took out a life insurance policy on only Summer 2 months prior to her disappearance. And this YouTuber says that they know as a fact that they did this. And then when I talked to Don, he also told me about a fake YouTube account that was made in his name. And you guys aren't going to believe this. The things that people are doing are not only affecting this family, but they're also affecting law enforcement, because this fake YouTube account led to the TBI doing an extensive search. And you're going to hear about that because I'm going to play my conversation with Don in just a minute. And that's fine if you don't believe what Don says. But who else do we have to go off of? Are you going to go off of Don Wells, or are you going to go off a random YouTuber who says they know is a fact, but they don't produce any proof? It's irresponsible. And the bottom line is that there's a 5-year-old little girl that is gone. She's gone. And now is not the time to make stuff up. So if you don't believe Don, that's your prerogative. But in my opinion, I hear in his voice that he's devastated at the loss of his little girl, the disappearance of his little girl. I hear devastation in his voice. And if you don't believe him, that's your prerogative. So those were the things that I addressed. And then he brought up this fake YouTube account and the TBI thing. So I'm just going to go ahead and start playing the first clip from our conversation. Let me know if you guys have any audio issues. You shouldn't. But he's a little quieter than me just because it was a phone call. So, okay. How's it going at work?
Well, I just decided I'm not going to let Satan win, so I went back to work.
Good for you.
I made that up in my mind, you know. So
Yeah, good for you.
instead of letting him keep me down, yeah.
Yeah, is social media getting kind of crazy?
Yes, very.
Have you like thought about putting your stuff on private so people leave you alone?
Well, yeah, I thought about it, but I don't. It's about Summer. It's not about me.
I get it.
They say all they want about me, you know.
I get it. I get it.
Tore up, but as far as I'm concerned, they can say anything they want.
There's a couple things that are being said on YouTube that's kind of bothering me.
Yeah.
And I wanted to know from you if I could set those things straight and ask you about those.
Yeah.
The first thing is about a life insurance policy.
No, there's none.
We can't
even afford regular insurance for our kids, like dental or anything like that.
Yeah, there's a YouTuber that's saying they know for a fact that there was a policy taken out on Summer by you. Yes, by you guys 2 months prior.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, see this stuff that's being said is just, and that's why I hear it. And I'm like, I'm just going to call you and ask you because it's irritating to see all that, and it's
really
misdirecting, you know, the search for Summer.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So absolutely, there's no life insurance policies.
No.
Thanks for clearing that up. And then also, okay, so he clears up the life insurance. Now I'm reading your comments in chat, and Bridget says it's irresponsible. Hold on, Bridget 3319 says it's irresponsible to help the parents financially when they still haven't been cleared as suspects. I don't know what you mean.
Summer had literally just gone missing. Squall, a woman named Pam Sanchez, another woman I became friends with named Elaine Smith, and a few others started on Facebook collecting a lot of fucking money to rebuild Dawn and Candace's home. The boys were still in custody. I agree with Jay. Food, clothes, things for the boys to do. But at this point, we don't know the full context of the story. Jody Sue was also collecting money. There was a fight between Jody Sue and Candace over gift cards, if anybody remembers that. Like the AM red truck, sorry, but he said it and had a video and photos. Oh, maybe, Gene. Anyways, so Jay's gonna go on, and she gets angry because people are yelling about not giving the boys money. But I feel, in my opinion, it was more than what the Wells needed at that time. And the other thing is that you're bringing in people like the We Can Bring You Hope and Tim Mullen, the media manager. I personally made a phone call to Pruitt. Let me see if I can find it while you guys are listening to this. The Wells were offered all of them services through the John Walsh Amber Alert. He has some sort of thing with it, and I explain it. Dawn and Candace refused those things through law enforcement. That bothers me. We just watched a mom that's on here crying for her son and giving all the information he can, and Candace doesn't come to the news for what, 6 weeks, 7 weeks? It wasn't till July, like the end of July, that Candace came and did a news interview. Look at the difference between the mother we just watched. I'm not accusing Candace. I hate to do that, but it's odd behavior to me. And I don't feel they should have been collecting that money at that point, and then especially fighting with Jody Sue about it.
Mean or who you're directing that at, Bridget Servey. But I don't know who's helping the family financially. All I've seen and heard are people wanting to help the boys. You know, there's still 3 kids involved here that are in Candace and Donald's custody. And I'll get to that because Don addresses some of the things that the boys received. The boys have received clothing, they received shoes. And he says thank you, and he wants to pass that along. I did hear that they need firewood. However, that firewood has to be local. You can't, like, bring firewood in from other places, I don't think.
Dawn requested that people donate firewood to him. Dawn, you live in the middle of the fucking woods. Go cut a fucking tree. Okay? Fred was complaining about the fire pile that was down there in the middle of the summer, stating it was possible summer was under it. Fred also made a comment somewhere along the lines about Dawn stealing wood off of his property. Just some things I'd like to point out. Tim Mullins called Dr. Phil, from my recollection. Yup.
Bridget says there's a little girl missing and they could be the reason for her missing, and you want to help with gift cards, utilities, and so on. Correct, because there's 3 children in the home. There's 3 little boys that they can take and do things. They can have new clothes, new shoes, make sure their utilities are on for them, make sure they have food. They have gift cards to go to restaurants. I don't see anything wrong with gift cards to restaurants, gift cards to Kroger, or fuel gift cards, or payments to utilities. I see nothing wrong with that. If there weren't 3 children in the home, fine, maybe you'd have an argument. But the fact that there's 3 minors that live there, that are in their care, I don't think it should even be a debate at this point. So I'm not going to address it anymore. I think it's very unfair to say that and to kind of put a damper on any kind of kindness that's coming out of people towards this family or these children. And Bridget, no one is forcing anyone to donate anything or do anything any certain way. These are merely suggestions, and what people do is their own free will. And that's the wonderful thing about helping people, is that you don't have to be judged for it. You can just do it and no one ever has to know. And no one should be judged for helping. Okay, so moving forward. I don't want to talk about custody or anything like that. That is going to be up to the authorities when they figure out this case and they come to a conclusion. But right now, the boys are in the parents' custody. And I do have at the top, if you would like to donate to the Church Hill Rescue Squad, which is one of the many nonprofit agencies that have been searching for Summer, you can donate at any Civis bank in their name, Church Hill Rescue Squad, Summer Wells Search Fund. Okay. So moving forward in our conversation, let me just keep playing it. Wait, hold on. They're talking about, Rose's daughter. Did that sound robotic to you guys? Bridget, I'm not going back and forth on this anymore. Did that sound robotic to you guys? It did? Okay, it did to me too. All right, hold on. Yeah, we all just want Summer found. I'm not arguing about donations anymore. It's just ridiculous. Come on, Bridget. You're better than that. This isn't about donations. This isn't about helping the family. This is really about a 5-year-old girl that's missing, and people feel helpless. And this is the only way that they can feel like they're helping. And if that's the way that they feel like they're helping, they shouldn't be down for that at all. So stop, Bridget, Survey 319, please. Okay, here we go. Let's see if it's still robotic. That went missing.
Yeah. Oh, you mean Rosie? I mean.
Little break in the video, got quiet. She'll be right back. It's still playing. What I really want to get to, I'm going to
His daughter that went missing. Yeah. We're clearing that up. And then also they're talking about, Rose's daughter that went missing.
Yeah.
Pretty soon they're going to start talking about religion. And that's where I'm going to split off just for a little bit. We'll come back, but I want to cover Elizabeth Smart. I'm going to start introducing some Elizabeth Smart stuff into my content because I think she's so strong. I actually just seen another channel covering something I wanted to cover and I was excited. Elizabeth did a hike with her brother and sister-in-law up into the woods to the spot she was kidnapped, and she explains a lot of the religion portion of it, but I'm going to go over something else tonight that I want to watch with you guys. But because I think she talks about the religion aspect in it as well. And I want you guys to remember, Dawn was born a Mormon. Okay? For me, there's just a lot of kid crime in the Mormon LDS religion. I don't do the damn Jehovah Witness. I'm sorry. Strike me to hell. I don't give a fuck. I mentioned it in my, social media is forever, Rachel. But I said it in my earlier live. You got Ruby Frank, you got Lori and Chad Vallow Daybell, Elizabeth Smart. There's too much child abuse for me in LDS. Something ain't right about the way they think for me. I'm not into that religion. I'm sorry. Strike me fucking dead, hate me, do what you want.
Oh, you mean Rosie? I mean, that's Candace's mother. That's Candace's sister.
Yeah. Rose is the sister. I'm sorry. Right. Yeah, they're saying that there was also a life insurance policy on her that grandma had taken out, and they're trying to connect the two. And I know law enforcement has specifically said there is no connection whatsoever between her and Summer disappearing. So that's another thing that I would like to clear up, that thousands of people are watching these videos and they believe it. Yeah. And I want to be here to kind of clear that up, to keep the focus where it should be.
Right. Yeah, for sure. It's absolutely crazy. And then too, the FBI called me, or the TBI called me and said that somebody set up a YouTube account in my name and called some woman and told them that I buried her. Facebooked her and said I buried her body on a lake. So they was out there for hours searching for her body.
You have got to be
and I was in church. They couldn't get a hold of me. So when I did get a hold of them, they asked me, and I said, no, I would never do anything like that.
These people need to stop. They need to stop.
Yeah.
So they were searching out there because they thought it was actually you that made the account?
Right. Yes.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
So are they looking into who made that account?
I hope they are.
Yeah, me too. They need to be prosecuted.
They're just wasting the police's time.
Absolutely.
Another little girl got gone in Elizabethton, 14 years old. And I'm sure many others that I haven't heard about yet.
Yeah. I saw your friend from church went on a YouTube. The guy, David is his name?
David Dodson.
Yeah, David. David, what a nice guy.
Yeah.
What a nice guy. He was talking about something about a red truck that was found without the plates or something.
That one didn't have anything to do with anything.
Oh, it didn't?
That was just, yeah.
But was it your neighbor's truck?
No, my neighbor has a truck. It's a Dodge, but it had nothing to do with any of this.
Oh, okay. So the Toyota Tacoma is something totally separate that they're
Right.
with the buckets and the ladder rack?
That picture is not the truck. If somebody's seen a truck like it, parked at the bottom of my driveway.
On that day?
That's strictly from TBI, but, and that's just, hearsay. Somebody's seen it.
Oh, that's
parked
it.
at the bottom of our driveway around the time summer got gone.
And that's really the only eyewitness tip, isn't it?
Yeah, we haven't heard. Yeah, that's it. So absolutely,
Gosh, Don, I'm so sorry for everything you guys are going through.
yeah.
I mean, I can just tell you're devastated.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, because I sent him the Nerf guns and it was delayed by Amazon, and I was like, it's probably because of where you live. It probably takes a little extra to get up there. So I'm glad they got him.
Thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome. You're very welcome.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure you got
I
it.
love the shoes and everything.
Well, those didn't come from me, so I don't know who those are from, but I sent him the
Okay.
Nerf guns, 3 Nerf
some
guns.
Nerf guns. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
So I don't know who else sent stuff, but yeah, I just wanted to
Okay,
make sure you
well, we
received them.
appreciate it.
Oh, you're very welcome, Don.
Yeah,
But-
it's just like these kids are disappearing, and there's without a trace.
I know it. I know it.
Just, evil is abounding in our country. I don't know.
Okay, so maybe Candace, yeah, coffee, crime, and wine. Maybe Candace is nervous because of, the hate brigade. Possibly. I mean, come on. He sounds exhausted. He sounds devastated. There's no doubt about that to me. I have not spoken to Candace, so I can't speak for her. Don did tell me that she is devastated. She's beside herself. That's all I can tell you. As far as the person who made a comment about ask him what it's like to be a prime suspect and how many times he's been interrogated. Well, he has not had the TBI or any investigators interrogating him in a while, since I think the polygraphs. They haven't been to the house in a minute. So it doesn't sound like they're breathing down their necks. Now, are they watching them? I don't know. I'm sure they have their own investigation, their tactics, whatever. I don't know what those are. I'm not an investigator and I'm not claiming to be one. But all I can do is pass along what Don responds to these things. And he's responding to these things on the spot, you guys. He's not given time to think about it. And the firewood, they need firewood not to use now, but they stock up for the winter. So usually right now, Don would be working and then he would be out also in the woods chopping down trees for firewood to stock up. For the wintertime is how they...
Strange. For some reason, all I could find is WJHL or some news clips about John Walsh doing Summer's case. I have it. I have to search for it. It should be in my news clips. So we'll share that another time because I can't easily find it. But, all right. Just thought I'd tell you why I wasn't in chat for a second there. And yes, Elizabeth she's such a beautiful lady. Like, I've been like binge watching her all day today and all day yesterday. She really is a survivor. To come out on the other side the way she did, she had a really good, strong family to help her through, and they still do. Like, for instance, they go on a hike with her. I seen a video where she was donating blankets to a domestic violence shelter. I forget the name of them, Minkimi or something. And her mom was involved, and she's just such a good voice for victims, in my opinion. I really like Elizabeth Smart.
They heat their home. So you need quite a bit of firewood to heat your home. Well, I guess it's a necessity. It's their heat. Like, you guys have gas or electric heat. They use firewood. Now, the one thing, no, Janice, this was not live. This was recorded when I called Don earlier today to ask him about these rumors that are floating around. Exactly, Ann. Thank you. You have to have a lot of wood if you're going to heat your home in the summer or in the winter. So you collect it in the summer. I just think because of the way they talk, the way they live, that people are being very judgy. I feel like if this was a middle class family in a middle class neighborhood in a subdivision in Midwest suburbia, that you guys would be a little more kind. Although suspicious of the mother because you haven't seen her talk. But
Dawn has a pretty decent job. I wouldn't say they were poor. I would say they live like they're poor. But I wouldn't say they were exactly like broke.
she did go and talk. She did do one interview and she got completely bashed. So I doubt she's going to come out again. And I have to say that the authorities, I want to also clear this up and make it clear. The disappearance of Candace's sister back in 2009 in Wisconsin, the authorities have said clearly in black and white that the two are not related. So I have to assume that authorities must have something that solidifies that those two are not related. So they have something, because another thing that strikes me as odd is that this isn't like a typical, being treated like a typical abduction, where we have an Amber Alert with a description of a car, a tag, things like that. We don't have them asking for the general public to be on the lookout for Summer Wells out in public with anybody, right? She's got a shaved head. They're not saying be on the lookout for this little girl. She could be wearing a wig. These are identifying marks on her. She has a birthmark here, there, whatever, a scar, nothing. As far as I've seen, we haven't been given any identifying marks to identify this little girl in public. The only thing that I've heard is the neighbors being asked to search their yards, their property, and their outbuildings. Welcome, Dana. Thank you for becoming a member. Welcome to the JS for Justice family. So what do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about them not asking for the general public to be on the lookout for this little girl if she had been kidnapped? Savannah, I don't think there are any cameras around their home. The only thing they have is an eyewitness that said there was a red Toyota Tacoma parked at the top of their driveway that day. And there's just like an eyewitness account of that. And that's the only eyewitness account that we have associated with this case. I mean, as far as we know, they could have more that they're not telling us. Just because they haven't told us doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Because I feel like they have more information than they're giving us just based on those two facts alone, that the general public is not looking for her, and that they're asking neighbors to check their outbuildings and such. So they have searched a 5-mile radius around their home. And these crews, okay, so the crews have scaled back. That was another rumor. The crews had scaled back because there was no more money. Now, I know that some of the crews are nonprofit, the Churchill Rescue Squad being one of the nonprofits, and you can donate to them at any Civis bank, like I said earlier. But it was reported by the sheriff that all of the search efforts have scaled back, not because of money. I mean, they do know that it's going to draw resources, and they're going to be upside down after they pay all these man hours out. But like the sheriff said, they work through it. These are unexpected events. But the reason why the search is scaled back is because the search crews, the sheriff says, are physically and mentally exhausted from the rough terrain and the extreme conditions. So he says, just because we may not be seen as such a large presence in and throughout the area, rest assured we have not quit and won't quit until we find Summer Wells. Well, no, I'm talking about, like, go back to the beginning when she first went missing. There was an Amber Alert, but we didn't have any information because there's no information. We don't know where the heck she is or who she could be with. But I never heard a plea to the general public to be on the lookout for this little girl. I feel like the focus has been around her house and asking the neighbors to check their outbuildings and their property tells me that they believe she's somewhere out there in those woods. Right, Rachel. Usually it's like a car, a vehicle, tag number, something. But this is just like they've had a clear focus. I mean, look at the search efforts for 13 days, covering I don't know how many square miles, 4.6 square miles, which adds up to over 3,000 acres that have been searched. So since June 15th, 1,150 searches have covered the ground. Over 13,800 search hours have been logged. The TBI fixed wing flew 21.2 hours, and the THP helicopter logged 30 hours of flight. Numerous specialized search and rescue groups include, but are not limited to, the Tennessee Task Force 2, Bursar, Appalachian Mountain Rescue, Black Diamond, SCSAR, Central Carolina SAR, Great Smoky Mountain National Park, RATSR, Search and Rescue Tracking Institute, and numerous canine teams. That's very, very extensive. 13 days. They've scaled back out of pure exhaustion. Moonstone, they must think the neighbor not alive, his truck and his laptop stolen. What?
My husband made cookies and they're awful, and I couldn't stop because I couldn't quit chewing the fucking cookie. It's hard as a brick. He made them with the grandkids. We're babysitting tonight. He's off, so he told me I could go live while he controls the children. Okay. What she just said was that it might still be coming up, but I think she already said it. Hawkins County quit searching because they ran out of money. I'm not going to cover too much of that, but we're going to go over that soon, only being because it's true. They was asking city council for money or whatever it is, their politics. It's all over. I have the recordings of it. They were saying they didn't have the money to no longer search for summer. I believe the searchers were exhausted as well. 13 days is a long time to climb through them woods. However, I don't feel that's an excuse. They kicked EquiSearch out. EquiSearch is free. And so are many other search and rescue teams. There's no excuse. Right. All right.
Yes, I know it was a possible abduction. It just seems to be treated a little bit different than a typical abduction. Why scale back? I just said they're scaling back because they're flipping exhausted. 13,800 search hours in this rough terrain. These men are tired. Well, Don keeps talking about kids being missing and abducted because he believes that his daughter was abducted. Trisha, yes, I heard that the dogs lost scent at the top of the driveway. I can't confirm that because I got that secondhand. How is it being treated differently? Because they're not acting like she's out in the general public. They're acting like she's in the woods around her house. That's not a typical abduction. That sounds like a potential homicide. And is that what you think? They scaled back because the family are suspects? They still want to find Summer. And no matter who's a suspect, you still want to find the little girl. So don't forget that. Cooter Brown says that this case is turning his beard white. So law enforcement did say that the two missing, the sister, the aunt of Summer, that went missing in 2009 from Wisconsin, that it is not related to Summer's disappearance. They said that straight up. But like if they thought that the two could be related, they just wouldn't say anything. They wouldn't tell us they aren't related. They could be building a case. We don't know. The bottom line is we don't know. But what we do know, and that's all we can go off of, is what we do know. We do know that there's 3 boys whose sister is just gone. That's what we do know. I agree with you, Marge. I agree with you. I don't think they would state as a fact that the two aren't related. I mean, maybe they would. Just, I don't know. I just don't feel like they would come out and make that statement. But you never know. That's why we follow the cases, right? So it's no use arguing and fighting and arguing amongst one another. Why? Why argue about it? If you don't want to donate to the kids, don't donate to the kids. But let the ones that want to donate to the kids donate to the kids. It really isn't something that anyone should be arguing about, because the bottom line is, look on the screen. There's a little girl that's missing, possibly dead. And we all know the statistics of missing children when they're not found within 24 hours. So before you judge Don, he's already said he knows the statistics. He's already thought about that. And we don't know what happened. I got change. Who are you? Who are you? State your name. They said we have nothing to hide. I'm assuming that's one of the family members. I'm waiting to see if they're going to respond. What, Lisa? Are you guys seriously getting mad because people are donating things to the children? I mean, no matter what, I mean, if the mom does have some kind of issues, it doesn't make her guilty. Oh my God. So we're not gonna be nice to the kids because it might benefit the parents. Are you kidding me right now? If walls could talk, how do you get your text like that?
I may actually have the wrong live pulled up. It's okay. This was still a good live to go over. It's just not the bigger portion I was looking for. But that was good for the marathon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move on. This is almost over anyway. We are going to go to Elizabeth Smart now. I want you to think back to all of the things Dawn had said about seeing Summer in the resurrection. That's what I wanted to show you tonight. I might still go look and see if I could find the other J is for Justice I wanted to share. However, I can go on and on and on about this topic. We could talk about it tomorrow. Later, I could stay on. It don't freaking matter. My son's just coming home to get the kids, so I might have to come back. But anyway, so let me go on. I want you guys to listen to Elizabeth and how strong she is, but I want you to listen about how she feels about religion. And I don't know what's all in this interview. I've watched a few. This is just really a little bit in depth, and I can't show the Netflix series with you because it would definitely be a copyright strike, but I watched the first episode last night. I highly recommend it. It's amazing. I love it.
The day that all of this started, I remember, I mean, we covered it, and I remember exactly where I was when they found you. And I am just, to see how your life has evolved since that time has been remarkable to me and to everybody. And now here you are you have been doing great good ever since. How do you account for that? I mean, how does someone who went through what you went through get to that point where you use it as if it was emotional judo? You know, judo is where you use your opponent's momentum against them, right? How did you do this? How did you do this?
Well, first of all, kidnapping and rape and sexual violence, I think they make you feel like you're the only one who's ever gone through that, and it feels very shameful, and it feels like a dirty secret that you don't want anyone to know about. And that's certainly how I felt. And when I got home, I wanted more than anything just to go back to being who I was before I was kidnapped. I wanted to be me. I wanted my old life back. And it was a process, and it took me a while to recognize that I will never be who I was before all this happened. That will never happen. That person is gone. And I needed to learn to be okay with my new life. And that was, that took time. And it didn't just happen overnight. But my dad was very involved in advocacy. And little by little, he'd ask me, what do you think about this? What do you think about the Amber Alert? Have you ever heard of the Amber Alert? Do you know what it is? Let me explain it to you. And little by little, he'd talk to me about things, and he'd invite me. He'd ask me, do you want to come with me? Do you want to say something about this? Or, do you feel like it's effective? And so little by little, I started doing more and more. And as I did more, I met more people. And it was really shocking to me when I began to realize that actually what I went through is not so different, and it's not so uncommon to what thousands of other people experience all the time. And as I began to have that understanding and realization come to me, I began to feel like, well, I have a support network, and my family does believe me. They're not divided thinking, oh, she's making this up, she's looking for attention, or I know that person, they'd never do that. Like, everyone has always, maybe not everyone, but most people have always believed me. And I think that made a huge difference for me. And as I met these other survivors, and I knew where I was in my journey, and I was able to get kind of a vague idea of where these other survivors were, I thought, I can do something about this. And why shouldn't I? Like, there's not a reason for me not to. So I went through it, and it was terrible, but now I have an opportunity to do something about it, and hopefully prevent other people from being kidnapped, and hopefully prevent other people from being raped and sexually exploited. And that's kind of how it all started.
I remember your mother, and you've said this to many other interviewers, but it was your mother, Lois, who told you, he's stolen 9 months, at the very least, stolen 9 months of your life from you. Don't you give him another minute. Well, when you're 14 years old, did that sink in at that time, or did it take you some time to really come to understand what she meant and get to that point where you could be proactive?
Well, she said it, I think her timing had a lot to do with everything, because she said it, it was the morning after I was rescued. It was, just right there. And I was still caught up in, honestly, the euphoria of being at home, the relief of being reunited with my family, and being safe, and knowing that no one's going to be able to hurt me. And I was filled with all of these positive emotions. So when she at first said that to me, I was just like, well, of course, like, why would I be sad? Everything that was taken away from me was just given back. Are you kidding me? I just missed my freshman year of high school. I'm not going to miss anything else. I had some serious fear of missing out on everything moving forward. And so when she said that to me, and at first my reaction was like, why are you telling me this? Of course I'm not going to. Of course I'm not going to. Of course I'm going to be happy. But her words, as they usually do, tended to stay with me. And then, there were times when it was hard, when I was frustrated. The trial, the court case, the proceedings, they were very frustrating. It made me very angry, thinking, why is this not done yet? It's 5 years, it's 6 years, 7 years, 8 years. How is this still not done? And my mom growing up, she'd always, whenever I had a bad day, she'd be like, Elizabeth, what do you do when a horse bucks you off? And I hated that so much. Oh, I hate it. I was like,
Why?
just
Why
let
did
me
you-
feel sorry for myself for 5 minutes.
Why did you hate it? So did your
Because she always wanted me to get back up. She always wanted me to keep going. That's the way my whole life was. And now as an adult, I am so appreciative of that because I always, no matter how low I sunk, I still got back up and kept going because that's what I'd been raised to do. And that's how I'm here.
But you must have felt at some point when she's trying to encourage you that way, look, Mom, you have no idea what I went through. Okay.
Doesn't everybody think that sometimes?
Well, sure, we all think that, but I mean, you're in a kind of an exclusive club here. I mean, if you can call it a club, for heaven's sakes. And I mean, none of us, as best as you could describe it in words, in your book, in interviews and other ways, none of us could ever conceive of what you went through and what it did to you as a person. And now where you are. I mean, that is what is so amazing to all the rest of us, is that you went from being this innocent 14-year-old girl to experiencing this incredible, traumatic, awful, terrible situation. I mean, there aren't enough adjectives to describe what it was you went through, to now, on the other side of this, blessing the lives and potentially blessing the lives of millions of people. I mean, how do you reconcile that? How did you, that's why I ask, how on earth did you do this?
Well, yeah, was it bad? Yeah, it was terrible. It was awful. It was hell, pure hell. But I mean, it had an ending. I mean, it ended. And I think that my desire to live and my want to have happiness and to do good in the world outweighed my trauma, my nightmares, my fears. I think it just, everything that I wanted outweighed what had happened.
I guess this work that you're involved in now has to be cathartic in some way, in terms of because it's hard for me. We all get involved in good causes, you know. We all have our pet causes we want to be involved in, but none of us are motivated to those causes by something like what you went through. And so that's why I marvel at you saying that it compensates for the terrible thing that you went through, being able to do this good. Help me understand how that balances out in your heart.
I mean, it's been a process, because when I first got home, I think I swore up and down that I was never going to write a book. I'd never do a movie or a documentary. I didn't want to do any media. I didn't want to talk to anyone. I didn't want to see anyone. Isn't that ironic now?
Yeah.
But there was a lot of shame and a lot of, for no reason, guilt associated to everything that happened. And so it took time to let that go, because even though, like, logically I could reason it out in my mind, I mean, like, nothing that happened was my fault. I didn't do anything wrong. I could logically go through that, but being able to logically do that and emotionally be on the same page, I mean, that was different. It took time. It took a while for my emotions to catch up to a point where I could really say that, you know, these feelings of guilt or shame or you know, sadness or pain, they don't get in my way anymore. And I could go back into these kinds of topics without them resurfacing. It took a while for that to happen. It didn't just happen overnight. I mean, it's 20 years now. So it's been a long time.
You're effectively changing the definition of who you are. I mean, I don't know how anybody could avoid it. Somebody who had gone through what you went through, it would define them. And what you've been able to do is change that definition. And now, the work that you're involved in, help me to understand how much good you think you can do.
This might not look like much, but this is a place where so much happened to me. This is the place where my nightmares became real. This is the place where I was first raped. This is the place where I was chained up. This is the place where I was abused and starved and deprived of water and basic human decency. This is the place that very few people have ever been, but where I was taken to the night I was kidnapped and where I was first held captive. So today we are going on a bit of an adventure. I'm back at the house that I grew up in. We're going to retrace my steps as much as possible to the hidden campsite where I was held captive. And I'm with my brother today.
I've never been up this part of the canyon. I didn't know there was a trail here.
And my beautiful sister-in-law.
How did he even find this place? I've always actually been really, really curious because I've always wanted to hear what was going on in your head. And then I wanted to hear what was going on at home. Is it hard? Is it a hard hike?
It's a pretty grueling hike.
Holy hell, lips.
Wow. Wow.
Careful,
Oh, wow.
Careful. Oh my God. There's literally no trail. Can you see this? You're brave. Oh, you're brave.
Whoa, be careful.
Oh, that's legit a bone. Oh my gosh. What is that?
I mean, don't drink the water now.
You're not even puffing. I'm sorry. Hold on. How much further up the hill?
I mean, there's a reason nobody found me.
Yeah? Okay, good thought.
Because everybody likes to say, why don't you just run home?
I know. Because it wasn't easy.
Well,
Fields of poison ivy, going up not a river, a stream bed, like climbing a mountainside. It's not an easy hike.
Did you have running shoes on or what were you wearing?
Yeah, that night I had running shoes on. I remember when he came and got me, I reached for my slippers and he was like, not those. And he pointed to my like running shoes. They were Mom's.
Oh, yeah,
I inherited them.
Yeah, we were part of that family, weren't we?
Yeah,
the hand-me-downs.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with hand-me-downs, but
Nothing wrong with a good pair of hand-me-downs.
So normally you would be going from behind your house.
Yeah, so my bedroom, you can't see it, but it's up behind those trees. We would be going almost straight back from my house and straight up into the mountains through my backyard. But now, I mean, we're talking years later, there's houses back there. They'd probably be like, who are these crazy people trying to go through our yard? Exactly. So we're not going to do that.
I don't want to get arrested. But you are going to take us, there is a way to get there on a trailhead. Kind of.
Part of the way.
Oh.
The accessible way. Yeah.
Okay, well, we got our hiking boots. You got hiking boots. We're ready.
Hiking boots.
We're ready.
We're
Let's go.
Okay, so how far?
The sister-in-law and brother asks some really interesting questions. This is interesting to listen to. Like, I think I'm going to follow Elizabeth with you guys. Like I said, I interviewed Tanya Cash, and Tanya's story, I think it's just so amazing to hear these young women who have survived the worst being violated that way. This woman was chained up as a child by her ankle. She was only allowed so far when he took her from her bedroom at 2:30 a.m. to climb 3 miles through these mountains. He held her at knife point the whole time. He took her to a party, but they stayed next to her. She wasn't allowed to go nowhere. They were doing drugs. They kicked the guy out of the party because he was unruly. People seen her and didn't even know it was her because he was dressing them up as if they were Muslim. That's how he got away with it. She wasn't allowed to speak. Man, her Netflix series, I only seen the first episode. I have to pay for Netflix to see the rest. I seen it on YouTube. It's really fucking good, guys. Go look for it. I'm addicted. Can you tell? I'm just so proud of who this woman became and how she advocates for herself and for many others. And I think if Summer's ever found, maybe one day she can help Summer advocate if she's alive.
Is the hike, would you say, from your house?
I would guess 3 miles, but the way that we're gonna go to actually get to it is probably about 3.5 miles.
and we're not even going the correct route at the beginning, right?
Well, I mean, I don't even think, like, it would be just so hard to retrace that. Like, I don't know if I actually
Could retrace it step
just
by step.
because, I mean, you know, it was like that night. And so, like, there was so much adrenaline and fear. And, like, I didn't know where we were going. And, you know, it was all just a guess. Like, I think even he was guessing that night. I mean, at one point he did have to yell out.
Question. So you would come down sometimes from the campsite to town. Yeah. So did you go this way that we're going to go to town?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't cut up through up here to like my neighborhood, but yeah, we're going to go.
Were you ever like, find me, look at me, look at me?
Of course, absolutely.
Was there anyone ever on the trail when you were going?
There were.
Did you ever just like stare at people?
Yeah, and then they thought I was a creeper, which truthfully, I don't blame them. I mean, I didn't look like a normal person.
Yeah, but your eyes are so distinctive. You think that you would.
I mean,
like if you're not looking for it, you don't expect it, you know? Like if you just see like 3 robed figures, you'd be like, oh, maybe I'm going to turn around.
Yeah. And you know, it just shows you how cocky he was a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, 1,000%.
3 robed figures up in this neighborhood is a sight
Not
to
even
see.
this neighborhood, just like the mountains. When like if you go hiking, you expect to see people in like hiking gear or like athletic gear. You don't expect to see them like in robes.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good thing you work out and you work out because we'll see how I survive.
No, we'll all be good.
How long were you at this campsite for? Because you were gone for a total of 9 months.
Yeah. This first campsite, I was there from June until end of August-ish, and then we moved to like a lower camp in the same area just because it was easier to get to, because he was going down into Salt Lake more to try to get money to take us to San Diego. And I mean, as you'll see, it is a hike.
How did you ever know what day it was and like the months? Or did you?
His wife, Wanda Barzee, she made a calendar. So, I mean, I was always aware of the day.
Counting every moment.
We are headed to the base of Dry Creek. I think it's called Dry Creek Canyon or the Dry Creek Trail. And that is where you start. That is the most accessible route.
Yep.
How old were you when Elizabeth was taken?
I must have been 12 because I was 6th grade, but it was like right towards the end of the school season, right? Like it was a couple days before we got out for the summer.
Yep.
Tell us this, you're really big into running and now you've transitioned to, do we call it bodybuilding or what's the right name for it?
Yeah, that's the right name for it.
From here, can you see it?
No.
Or is it behind the hills?
Yeah, it's more like up in the hills.
Did you ever, because your family was searching for you, did you ever hear them?
I mean, there was one time that I heard my name called. It was like far away. It wasn't close. I could only very faintly hear it.
Were your abductors there with you or?
Yeah, this was like days after I'd been kidnapped. Like he pulled out like his knife. Like he was just like, you know, if you scream, if you say anything, like I'll kill you. I'll kill anyone who comes into this camp. So yeah, I mean, I wasn't about to scream.
Okay, so now that you're older and you went through the whole like 9 months with them, do you think that he actually would have killed them?
I think he was capable of anything.
So no bluff on his part. Maybe
Yeah,
didn't
I
have
think
a
he
whole
was-
lot to lose if he did it.
Well, yeah, and I mean, like he had gone so far into getting what he wanted that he would have justified doing anything to keep it.
No, I think it's brave to not say something, but I know you get a lot of flack and then people accuse you of like Stockholm syndrome and all that stuff.
Everybody wants to think, well, that would never happen to me, or like this won't happen to me because blah, 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 or this won't happen to me. Like I would have screamed or I would have done that. But until you're actually in that situation, you really don't know what you do.
Yeah.
Maybe someone who had a rougher childhood than I did, who had a more cynical outlook on life at that point already, maybe they would have acted completely different. But I lived a pretty sheltered life. We always had whatever it was we needed. Our parents were both involved in our lives. You know, it's not like they beat us or anything like that. So I was coming from a place of naivete.
Yeah.
and like innocence.
A bubble.
Yeah.
Nothing would prepare you for that.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
It really isn't.
I think we're almost there. When we get up here further ahead, let me see if I can say where the turnoff is. See if I can remember.
I mean, I'm questioning myself right now, but sure. I'm like pretty confident about it. But again, it's been over 20 years since I was like consistently up here.
But wasn't it at the fork in the road where they put your shoes? Did you have like a separate set of shoes there that were in plastic
There was
bags?
a tree, yeah. The base of the trunk was kind of hollowed out. And so they would swap like their hiking shoes for like sandals to wear down into the city.
To look a little more fit in with their costume.
Yeah, but then also like they didn't really want people to like know where that they'd been like up hiking.
Yeah.
I mean, living in hard terrain.
Did they have a pair of sandals for you that same night, or was that something that progressed over time?
They never got me a pair of sandals because I had toenail polish on, and half of my big toe was like a dark blue and half of my big toe was like a light blue toenail polish, and they're like, that's too distinctive, like someone could see that and recognize you. So they actually had me wear Wanda Barzie's hiking boots and they would both wear the sandals.
Oh wow, it looks like we got a biker behind. Nice. Let's put a rope on there and tow us up.
What was going on at home? Like, tell me the details that you remember.
I remember waking up to mom's screaming.
Like what time?
I want to say 2 or 3, but I could be wildly off. It was the screams were, she's gone, like frantic, like I've never heard mom scream like that before. The window was cut open. I remember running down the stairs and I literally thought it was a dream. And then immediately I was thinking, I was like, is this some kind of joke? But yet again, I don't think I'd ever think of Elizabeth as a prankster or a jokester. Neighbors started trickling in. Phone calls were made. Police started showing up. They kept us up in one of the bedrooms. A detective brought us over to the Beasley's house across the street. They started asking us questions.
So when you woke up, did Mary Catherine say anything to you, Andrew? Or did you ask her anything?
No, I didn't even suspect she would know anything. So my guess, it's right here on the right.
Yeah.
So this is where...
I don't know if she says it in here, but we're going to find, is this the same mountain? True. I don't know. I don't think so. It doesn't look the same to me, but that would be interesting to know. Now, what is funny is the place she donated the blankets to is where did he work? Parkfield, Utah, or Parkville, or whatever, Park City, or whatever. That's where she lives, or that's where she donated those blankets to, up in that area. So she's not far from Dawn's family. Okay.
You come off the trail
over
this direction,
which
hundreds of people go on this trail a day on this Dry Creek Canyon Trail.
I mean, you can kind of see, it looks like, oh, look, there's someone coming
And there's
down.
a hiker right there.
But yeah, like people don't really hike up this way, even though now I say that.
I know, right? Well, at least we can ask him how the trail is up ahead.
Yeah, I bet not good. Hello.
How is it up there?
Brushy.
Deserted.
Really nice though.
Good.
South Fork of Dry Creek Canyon.
That's right. South Fork of Dry Creek Canyon. Likewise, thank you.
Well, I guess now we know it's definitely the right one.
It looks like hardly anybody's even been on it.
I mean, during my captivity, I never saw anyone on this trail. I never saw anyone come up this way. It's so crazy to see someone hiking down.
Right.
But like right here, this tree that you can see is broken off. This was the shoe tree.
Trying to think of their names. Gina Hay DeSeuss. Oh, shit. Michelle Knight. And the main girl, what was her name? That was a really interesting case, and that's a case that can teach you how somebody that's loved in the community, that guy was a musician and wasn't he a bus driver or something? And yeah, Amanda Berry. That's it. Yep. And nobody suspected that guy. He was having barbecues. Well, them girls was in his house. It was Amanda Berry. That was crazy. I remember when they found them girls.
But like, I mean, you can kind of
JC Dugard is another one.
see,
Oh yeah,
like here,
there's
how
totally like a
that's,
cubby,
like
right?
hollowed out, and like there's either like right behind it or like right in there. Maybe there was another branch that came out. Maybe it was this one. I don't know.
Wow.
For some reason, I keep on thinking they put them in a black plastic bag. Was that a thing?
Yeah, that's the thing. Totally. They had like a, like not just like a garbage bag. It was like more like heavy duty than that.
Yeah.
Like maybe the kind you do your fall leaves cleanup with.
Okay.
So when you were going to town, did you stay there for like days on end?
No, it was a day at a time. I mean, like we would hike back up to like where the lower camp was, which I mean still is like pretty good hike, pretty decent hike. And we'd stay at the lower camp.
When she was gone, did you ever come up this way riding or anything?
I've never been up this part of the canyon. I didn't know there was a trail here.
No, we're probably going up this at the right time of year because like in the spring and early summer, like there's a stream that comes down this.
So was there water running down this the night you came up?
No, because we didn't come up this way. This is like the more accessible way.
Yeah.
And as you can see, it's not that accessible.
Did you ask him anything while he was taking you up?
Oh yeah, I was asking him like why he was doing this. Like, why was he kidnapping me? Like my parents never did anything to anyone. Like they tried to help him. Like,
wait, did you recognize him?
Yeah, actually I did, which if you know me, is insane because I forget people all the time. Like,
well, for how many people that are probably approaching you and events you go to, probably wouldn't be that hard.
So how long since he worked at your house did he come back and get you?
He was at my house in the fall, like beginning of the school year, maybe.
Oh wow.
Like
so
maybe September, October.
Like 9 months.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Like he planned it for a long time.
Oh my gosh, you think he would lose interest?
Was he there scoping the property, monitoring it?
He said he didn't monitor it, but I mean, he did say he like, oh, careful, stinging nettle right there.
What does that mean?
I'll give you a rash.
That's rash? Okay.
Yeah.
Look what you learned.
So what she just said was, I'm sorry, I sped it up. That might be a little too fast for you guys. I'm going to slow it down a little. What she had just said was he had only been at the house one time. The sister remembered him one time. The information she gives, she has such a vivid, how could you ever forget a bit of that? And she was so smart. She was able to survive like, oh, thank you, Jean. Something that kept women in the basement or the Green River guy. Yeah. There's all kinds of cases we could go over. I love it if you guys love going over the old cases. She sure did. Women that need to be looked up, they can teach us all something, for real. But something interesting she said, that's what I was going to say last time I paused, was that her family was being accused. Like, I really want you to hear how she feels about that, you know? But then I want you to remember that her family was much different than like Summer's family. Yeah, there is nothing new in Summer's case. And all it turns into is fights. Like, I'm just done dealing with it. The backstabbery on these YouTube streets is so freaking real. You know what I mean? I just want to go on with my content, figure out the marathon, who ripped what off, wait for answers for Summer, keep her name out there. I'm still going to talk about Summer every damn day. However, like I'm doing today, I want to add new content into it. And I think it's so amazing, instead of always just going for the bad, that we hear the good stories. Elizabeth Smart is a story of survival. Who said it, 1 in 1,000? I don't know if that's the true statistics. But that's something we should look into because she is a statistic. She's very lucky to be alive today, and she has a beautiful life. Like I was listening to her earlier, how do you move on in intimacy after that? Because she has 3 children, she shares them with you, which is odd. That it shows you she's grown, extremely intelligent, CM, extremely. I don't know. The whole world needs to be proud of this woman. She's just an amazing lady. And who knows, it might be something she's involved in one day that can get Summers. Maybe if we bring attention to her, she can help us bring attention to Summer. Who knows? Yeah, the good, not just the speculation and the lies. Oh, all right. Let's put this back on. This is interesting. I wasn't going to share this tonight. I was going to wait till tomorrow, but I'm kind of glad we're watching this.
During your captivity, I would never have known.
No, I knew that before.
Horseback riding,
Yeah.
Grandpa.
Yeah, I mean, he said he hiked down to our house one time just to make sure he could get there. And I think that was probably like the week before he came and actually kidnapped me.
Wow.
That's wild. I never even thought of that. Like,
And I mean, he said like the night he came to kidnap me, if he couldn't find a way in, then that was God's will not to do it. I know.
You're like, don't tell me that.
I know.
Don't tell me.
But then, I mean, like, if he couldn't find a way in, he couldn't have kidnapped me anyway, right?
Totally. But him saying that, did that like make you have feels of God or did it not?
Now as an adult, no. But like as a kid, I mean, it was like hard to think that was true or that was possible. I wouldn't say the idea really ever took root, but I'd say that I suppose there were probably times where I was like, is it possible? But I think I always came back to no.
because it's just pure evil
Yeah.
at its core.
Didn't he try kidnapping your cousin?
Yeah. Yeah, he totally did.
Did he tell you before he was going to go kidnap your cousin or after he came back?
No, he told me before. I mean, I felt guilty because I was the one who had talked about her.
Yeah.
Like, and I wasn't allowed to talk about my family and like.
So she's not, this was in the part 1 of the Netflix series. She was not allowed to talk about her family, but the guy let her go on and on and on about the cousin, and the cousin does an interview. That's actually ultimately how they started to find Elizabeth. Things started to unwind because the guy had gone to the cousin's house and cut the screen the same way he cut theirs, but somebody had woke up and it scared him and he ran away. The Brian David Mitchell, or whatever his name is. But he truly did try to kidnap her cousin. That's crazy. He wanted 7 of them. He was going to have 7 wives, he told her.
I wasn't allowed to talk about my life prior to him kidnapping me. You know, the one time he let me, like I did, and then when he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna kidnap her now," I was like, "What have I done?"
Oh, that's the last thing you would talk about. Like, think that he was going to go do. I'm sure it was like a good memory.
Oh my gosh. Hold on. Can you see this?
Technical difficulties.
I felt guilty because there was another side of me that was like, I would like a friend here with me. I would like not to be alone
With these freaking
with
creeps.
these monsters. He did actually try to kidnap another girl while we were in California, but he wasn't successful with her either.
Oh my gosh. You hiked down this in a dress.
I know.
Like, oh, you're brave. Thank you.
She's a survivor.
She is a survivor.
Those ones aren't that pokey.
Oh boy, we're in for a treat, huh? Going back to the first days that we saw him, I always thought he worked at the house for just a couple days. I didn't think it was like a
Dad
week, was
said
it?
like one day.
Okay, and that's kind of what I thought too.
Yeah.
That's why I never suspected him.
He only worked at your house one day?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Which is like why it's incredible I could even like connect him.
Yep.
Like, yeah, because it was Mare's.
Yeah,
Like,
she
you could connect
connected.
it too.
I mean, I connected it who it was the night I was kidnapped. And Mary Catherine, she connected it. What, it was like September, October?
Yeah, halfway through, wasn't it?
She would have been
10?
What, yeah, 9, 10.
How long were you captive before she remembered?
4 months, I'd guess. 4 or 5 months.
So like over a year of her seeing him once, did she remember that it was him?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it's kind of a story, right?
Yeah.
Because she was going through a Guinness Book of World Records and she came across, ironically, a bodybuilder.
We've come full circle.
From what I recall, she saw that picture, and whatever reason, it reminded her of him.
Yep.
Wow.
Which he is not
a bodybuilder.
Was he a bodybuilder?
No, definitely not. See, like these, like kind of like
Little
this is not even
valleys,
like a deer trail, but it's like to get to the lower camp. Like, and I have no idea if this is the one, but it's like straight up something like that.
Was the lower camp that
Was
we're
the
talking
lower
about.
camp? Yeah, they had gallons of water at this lower camp. They had some tarps. They had like a small little tent.
How much distance do you think there was between lower and upper?
It's a pretty good distance. Oh, look at that.
We got a fair
That's a
amount
bone.
still.
Where?
Oh my gosh, that's legit a bone.
Yep.
Is that?
It's probably a deer. I don't know. I mean, there's like a bunch of coyotes up in these hills and stuff. Like, I heard the coyotes all the
Frequently?
time.
Hey, what did you guys talk about when you were just chilling at camp for days?
I mean, he just mostly talked about like
himself.
Yeah, all the time. Just like how God called him and like how he didn't want to do this, but God told him he had to. And yeah.
Does anything ever trigger you?
I don't know if trigger's the right word. When people use like rape as like a plot or like just like use it to fill in something in movies or books, like that turns me right off. Sometimes I'll just be like, no, this is not the show for me. I guess I feel like it's like a morality issue. Like you're putting this in here for entertainment. Like what you're showing is not entertainment.
As a survivor of myself, I agree. I cringe on scenes of women being R'd in the movies or on TV shows. She tried to run, right, and they chained her up. I don't think she tried to run. I think she said she never tried to run because they constantly was watching her and she was scared to try to run, I think is what she said. Yeah, my husband had a Kindle. He loved that thing. Yeah, sad. But there's so many women out here that are victims. And I think women in general, that glorifies bad things that happen to women. Like, how many women? I think it's like 1 in every 5 women, or she says it somewhere along the lines in the statistics. I think it's 1 in every 5 women, 1 in every 2 women in Utah, she said. 1 in every 3 women or something. I don't know. We need to look them statistics up. But what that is when you put that in the movies, or even like I seen someone say they let their kids play GTA. My son lets my grandkids play it too. And I hate it because when my kids were little, they weren't allowed to play that shit, but they snuck and played it because there was men R-ing women in that game. And that's not something I wanted my children to learn. You know? I just think it glorifies it. I agree with her.
Like what you're showing are people's worst nightmares, are people's worst moments. And you're just showing that like for people to watch before they go to bed. What does that say about like our culture where the last thing we're watching before we go to sleep are like crimes?
Horrendous things.
I can get more on board with like crime documentaries. Like I've helped victims share their movies. Like I've done movies with Lifetime where victims share their stories, not only with the victim's consent, but like they want to be involved and like they want their story to be shared. Like I feel like that's different. I think when you have victim survivor involvement, that's so much more meaningful.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you said that you hitchhiked to California.
Well, we rode the Great.
And I think so too. And I think that's why I've been wanting to share her. That's what I was explaining earlier. I'd rather hear from the survivor than make speculation about a victim that we don't know what happened. Although there is a lot of speculation, we have to let people know it's speculation. That's a difference too. You can't be like Ziggy. Damn it, Andy was in the road. Andy was in the road. And then we find out her old man just has been lying and lying and lying, right? You did? I haven't. I want to. Nope. Never heard of him. Wonder if he's related who was Dolly or somebody bringing up Cody Compton or whatever. Names. All right.
Greyhound bus to California and we hitchhiked back.
So what was hitchhiking like?
Well, that was my idea, to hitchhike back. And I just thought, you're in someone else's car. You know, what was going on with us was not normal. Like, people were going to notice something was wrong. And I just thought, you know, if I can put myself in close proximity to people, like, someone's going to figure something out. There were people that definitely, like, thought something was off, thought something was weird. Like, I feel like I remember during the trial, someone testifying being like, oh, like, I picked her up, and after we dropped him off, like, I went to the police station to, like, look for, like, a missing person or something, but they just couldn't connect.
How many hitchhikers did you go with?
Oh, a lot.
Really?
Yeah. I was surprised at how many people were willing to, like, stop and pick us up. Some people who picked us up that, like, here's your yellow brick road, Andrew.
I know, this is so pretty. This is incredible.
They're beautiful.
I love those colors.
Yes.
And then when you went downtown to Salt Lake, you were at parties and stuff at people's houses.
I mean, just one.
Just one
but
party.
yeah. I mean, it was not just like a bunch of teenage kids. I mean, it was like a party I'd never been to. You know, it was like, I'm pretty sure there was like drugs going around and like all sorts of things going on.
Was Bride David Mitchell participating in the drugs?
Oh, yeah.
And then, like, did anyone talk to you at the party?
One or two people kind of tried. But I mean, Brian Mitchell or Wanda Barzi chased him off pretty fast.
Did she like going to the parties?
I mean, I don't think she really liked it because I think it just like made her feel like more responsibility was put on her because like he was there like getting drunk. He was like smoking weed. Yeah, just put more like responsibility on her to like make sure nobody got near me.
Were you ever like...
So the woman, the wife, who they gave names, one was Isaiah, which is odd. And what was the other one? I can't remember. We gotta look. Sloan Bella Hikes all over. I wonder if she went up there. I'd have to ask her. Yeah, Ziggy's ridiculous, Rachel. She really is. Where is Fred? Anybody hearing him in the background? Is she even saying anything? I just don't have the time to watch her playing fucking Hearthstone.
Try to annoy him and be like, dude, if you're so into Jesus and God and stuff, why are you doing all the drugs?
Oh, he had a whole line of reasoning for that.
Did it help
God
him
just
think
needs to
clearly?
show us that like we're nothing. This is his way of like humbling us. But I just want to have a peek up here because I know at one point we kind of turned off. I think this is actually, yeah.
This is the right place?
Yeah. I'm not 100% sure, but you can see like this green thing tied on here.
You remember that from before?
No, but I have a sneaking suspicion like maybe like the police or the FBI marked it as part of the trail. I could be wrong. It could be nothing.
So this was one of those landmarks for you essentially when coming up the trail.
Yeah, like you can see right there, someone's had a fire there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dad's been there since your 20 years?
Yeah.
Dad's been there since 20 years.
Yeah. We are mostly out of the ditch now, so that's good news. We'll come to a bigger group of trees where like you could see the remnants of like an old stove that's like rusted through and someone's like taking a BB gun to.
Okay. Yeah.
And then after that, we'll get up to the spring.
And so would you say, is this the quarter of the way left or halfway mark?
Probably half. Yeah.
Okay.
I always like expected, like I didn't actually realize how far away we were, how difficult like the hike to get to where we was because the night I was taken, I was like so hyped full of adrenaline that like distance just did not like measure in my brain.
Yeah.
When he was taking you, did it feel a lot longer to get there or a lot shorter?
It felt a lot shorter. I mean, like I remember like I was taken in the dark and like we crossed like the top of these mountains as the sun was coming up.
Wow.
Like I knew it was like a couple hours, but again, like time just didn't compute.
When you were captive, did you ever hear a helicopter?
Yes. I mean, it was like close enough that like the trees and the tent was shaking, but like he had like pulled me inside the tent. So I mean, it's not like they would have seen me or anything.
Was that the lower camp or was
No,
that
it was
the
the upper camp. Yeah. During the trial or after the trial, like one of the FBI agents was like, yeah, do you want to come with us when we go like tear it down? And I was like, yeah, I'll come with you. He's like, you want to hold the chainsaw? And I was like, yeah, I'll do it. So then I don't know if it ever happened or not.
Old soda can.
I definitely was not drinking soda. So it's not mine.
Did he ever set up like strings with bells on it or anything to warn him that people are around camp?
No, but I don't know that he'd really need to. I mean, we're not exactly being quiet ourselves coming through here.
Oh, sure, with the leaves.
This is all familiar.
Is this the stinging meadow field?
Nope.
So when you actually did do this hike, were you excited because you were able to get out of camp, or did you dread it?
No, every time like leaving camp, I was like, oh, maybe we'll see someone.
Did you
Oh,
ever?
here's the stove right here.
Oh yeah, here we go. I knew it was close to that field. I was like looking for it and we walked right by it.
Are these the old
Are those your old water bottles?
No, those are not mine. It's like peas in that one.
Okay, so from this point, how far?
I mean, we've gone 2.3 miles, so maybe mile-ish, give or take.
So did you ever see anyone when you were down Salt Lake, even from a distance?
I saw one girl that I went to school with from a distance.
No way.
Yeah. And we weren't like friends really, but I certainly knew her.
No way.
Mhm.
So this would have been you coming out of 8th grade to freshman, right?
Yep.
So the summer between the two.
Yep.
Wow. Was that person at East High when you
Yep.
came home?
They were.
Did you ever say anything?
No.
Was it weird going back to school after you got home?
Everyone else had a year of high school on me, so I don't know that weird's like the right word, but also I was like so excited to go back to school because I thought that had been taken from me.
Yeah. Didn't they want to hold you back a year?
Yeah.
Did your parents be like, hell no?
I mean, they're like, what do you want to do, Elizabeth? And I was like, I'm not going backwards.
I'm going to go with my friends.
Yeah. And then they're like, okay, well, you need to make up like a geography credit, like a PE credit. And I was like, are you kidding me? A PE credit?
I've been hiking for days. And geography, I've been living in it.
Yeah, there were a few credits I had to like take over the summer.
So any water
Ooh.
source?
Yep, right here. You can
That's
see the
it?
stream is running right now.
This is not where it comes out of the ground, but yeah, this is the stream.
Okay, so this is how you would drink from this.
Oh, this is mint.
Yeah.
You
but,
smell that?
I mean, higher up. Yeah, I can. It smells nice. I think
Yeah,
you can,
let's check it out. If that's the way.
I mean, again, that's been a long time, but
You gonna do that? You want me to hold you?
I got it.
Did you
Smells
ever
good.
get sick from that water?
No.
So it's fresh.
Yeah. I mean, like where we got it from came right up from the earth.
Interesting. Cool.
Yeah.
What is that?
What?
It's where an animal was killed.
Yeah, something got.
I mean, don't drink the water now.
Ah,
It's
yeah.
like a stomach or an organ, something.
Ew. Okay.
Oh, let's see.
Ew.
I bet someone actually hunted back here.
Okay, we're here. Don't kill us.
No.
Oh, I think we're making plenty of noise.
Yeah, so this was a deer. It's all been. Oh no, it's right there.
Disgusting.
Ah, oh, sick. Ah, I don't want to say it. Let's go. Well, at least the mint covered the smell of the rotting carcass.
Yeah. But I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it's not a walk in the park,
Nope.
which I feel like some people just like didn't understand.
That would be me. I have such a weak stomach. Could you imagine walking up her? Ooh, imagine that she lived in these conditions. Always seeing dead carcasses and the coyotes up in the mountains. How scared she must have been. As a 14, 15-year-old girl, that's crazy to me. How dark. I was watching in that Netflix series, I think it was, she was saying that he eventually started letting them have little tiny fires, but the fires would have to be very low to the ground.
Just like how difficult it is to get back here.
To all those people that think, oh yeah, why don't you just run home? This is not easy.
I mean, like, there is no running this.
There's
Like,
no running this.
He would have caught me.
Totally.
Yeah, now that you've seen what it looks like, yes, without a doubt.
We're getting closer to the spring anyway.
The water source?
Yeah. I know, it's a hike, isn't it?
It's a hike. It's a hike. Holy cow.
Oh, wait, did the river stop?
I feel like it. When we got it, I feel like it came out like right down here.
That's wild. There must be a couple other springs.
And let's just see if that little. I mean, I would have thought it was right here, but maybe it is right down there.
The spring?
Yeah, because I can see it wet just down there, just a little bit. Like we just passed it, just barely.
Did you have to dig into the ground to get it?
No.
So it's just
like it just came out. I think.
Yeah,
Like-
I can see it right here.
Yeah. I might try to walk up this way.
So how far is that water source from your place?
Like it was still a pretty good distance. Like maybe, like we're definitely getting closer. Maybe it was only 3/4 of a mile. This is stinging nettle, by the way.
Okay.
Like this.
Okay. So pay attention.
Just keep your hands up.
Like pretty soon we should be coming up to like an even more open field that is like, at least when I was up here, it was like legitimately all stinging nettle. Ooh.
We can. You all right?
What were some things you would do while you were, at camp or whatever during this whole 9 months? that would give you like comfort.
Do you ever see that movie Ever After with Drew Barrymore?
Yeah.
So there's a part in it when the stepmother, she's like, we mustn't ever feel sorry for ourselves because no matter how bad things get, they can always get worse. And that stuck in my mind. And so I just remember like being like, okay, this is pretty bad, but it could be worse.
These are all the fashions in New York. If you guys didn't know, this is the style they're wearing.
This is what's in right now.
They're wearing
So hot right
this
now.
fall.
Oh my gosh.
When were you able to leave camp for the first time after you were captured?
I mean, he did not let me come down for water. Would have been like 2 or 3 weeks.
Did let you come down eventually by yourself?
No, never by myself, no.
I think we're coming up to the big field.
It's like funny because like sometimes I'm like, oh, is that a remnant of a trail? Is that a deer trail?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Am I just like looking for the way of least resistance? We can go up and around this tree, and I think then it's like a big field.
It is a big field. You remember.
Whew. Feel the burn.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I mean, I just think, no, look at
It's crazy to me how much she remembers, how vividly. How could you forget that? I think back to like Dawn Wells saying, I don't remember what time I put my tools in my car, or I don't remember when I arrived home, or how do you forget things like that as the parent of?
that.
Yeah.
Look, it's like even new growth. Honestly.
How'd you guys bathe?
We mostly didn't. We're gonna like going left here pretty quick.
Corinne, tell us how you're feeling.
So itchy.
Me too. I'm like, I just want to take my pants off. But then I'm like, I had no way I'm going through that with no pants on.
We're essentially
Where are we at now?
Like we're getting like a lot closer. I mean, like it's like up and then over. I mean, this is like pretty steep too. So
Like, so how many miles on your watch?
we've gone 3.12.
Wow.
It must have been just like 3.2 miles maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. We must be almost there. I feel like this is the right spot.
Yeah.
But again, it might be a minute before we.
Come across it.
Yeah.
In my mind, I thought this was a trail. Like, it's treacherous, but it's like a trail, not just
Bushwhacking.
bushes. Ah, this is steep.
Yeah.
Like, you can't tell, but it's like
Very steep.
very steep. How many degrees, Andrew, would you say?
What?
Okay, at least 45 degrees slant. If you tripped and you rolled down, there would be no stopping. Like, I did not think it would be that.
I know. That is why nobody found me.
Yeah, I understand why. It is 3 miles from your house, but 3 vertical miles. And you had to carry water up this? Yeah. How many jugs? 2. 2 jugs at a time. I just can't believe she did this. And then in this heat, the summer heat, and then dehydrated and starving. Like, are you kidding me? I'm proud of you. Are you sure you're going the right way?
Yes. She has phone reception here too. Hey, Libs.
Well, I found it.
Oh, we thought we lost you again.
This is the place.
Wow. All right, we're still cruising up this hill. I see you on Find My Friends. We're heading your direction.
I see you're 0.1. You're 0.1 mile away. So you are.
Okay, I see.
Man, I see that, and to me, that's comparable to Osama bin Laden. Remember how they found him up in the hills, how he would hide in the hills after 9/11? Like, that is fucking scary as fuck. Look how high up in them hills they are. Look at the trees, the brush. And where summer is in Tennessee, the brush is so much more thicker. And how did he not get lost? I know. And look at her. She has it by memory, like a little bit of loss here and there, but she's remembering where an old stove was and water bottles and a tree they used to keep their shoes in. And notice how long it's taken them to get from that spot where the shoes were kept to the camp. Summer could be anywhere. Let's just hope she's anywhere alive. I'm not giving up hope. I know what the possibilities are, but I know Elizabeth is 1 in 1,000. Summer may be one day too. We can pray.
You can hear me?
No, just on the phone, but I know I'm close by.
Oh no, I can hear your voice.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna hang up and you'll hear me.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, sweet. Okay. Where are you at?
I'm here. I think you're below me.
I think I am too, but that's all right.
You know where you're going?
Yeah, I see her. See the white sweater right above us? That's her.
Are you out your family? Yeah, this is it.
Wow.
And it is 3.5 miles
3.5
from
miles.
the car
Wow.
to here.
Wow. That's impressive.
Oh my gosh. It's miserable, isn't it? Yeah, that was insanity. Misery. Okay, so actually like right here, this would have been like from this tree, like all the way back here. This is where like the dugout was. And I mean, like I was looking, you can see like the FBI or whoever came back here to destroy it. Like they just like, you can see some of the cut logs right down here. And they were just like laid up against this. And then I was looking and I saw some black tarp right there. And I think that was, so it was logs, that black tarp that's kind of in those leaves there. And then dirt was thrown up on top of it. And that's what all this was. And he had like a whole plan of like digging this area out and eventually like staying here year round. Thank goodness that didn't happen.
Oh my gosh.
I would have died.
Oh
and
my gosh.
then right here, this is where the tent would have been set up. Like this, like kind of was the, in line with this tree right here was kind of like the back of the tent to like the tent would have ended. And then like right about here, there would have been like some tarps on the ground. And then there kind of would have been a low hanging tarp across here that, you know, protected from sun, or a helicopter was flying overhead, you know, they wouldn't see people here.
Wow.
This big tree that you can see falling down right here, it wasn't fallen when I was here, it was standing. And like my chain, like what I was chained between was that tree right there. And then this big tree that's fallen down.
So it was like almost like a, I don't want to call it a pulley. So they had one little line that went from right here to this big tree falling that fell down.
Yeah. And then they had like a lock that they put around it. And
So
then I had a, like my chain was like looped onto the lock so I could slide it.
When you were tied to those trees, you could only go this, could you even get into the dugout?
No, he kept like, that's where he kept like the bolt cutters, like they were not within reach. That's where he kept like shovels or anything that could have possibly been used as like a weapon or a tool to get away. And then I could like
access the tent.
Like I could like come around and like get in,
Wow.
but like I could not
Go past.
like, I couldn't go really
Was there ever a time?
much further than like probably right here.
Wow.
Up here, right about here, like in this area, we eventually had like a tiny place to have like a tiny fire. He never wanted a big fire because he didn't want smoke. He didn't want people to come and see us. And then behind these trees was where the bucket was sent up
Yeah.
to go to the bathroom. And then he had like a hole that he dug over there that he emptied it into. Not that everyone wants to know that. But
let's go somewhere.
I mean, yeah, this is it. The night I was kidnapped, we would have entered in from like right about there.
Yeah.
Like came in right about there and then coming down right like this. And it would have been like right here. But yeah, I just would have walked straight in. The tarp area would be right there. The tent was right behind it. And then the dugout was right behind that. Wanda would have been like right where my bag is pretty much, or right in like just left of my bag there on the ground. But yeah, this was it. It's brutal.
What are your thoughts being back?
I guess like to me, it just kind of makes me think like, this isn't that far from my home. You know, this was 3.5 miles. How many other stories or how many other people are really not that far from being found or not that far from civilization, but never are found? But like, this was so hard to get to. Like, this is so well hidden. How would anyone ever find this right here? And I mean, like, it was a fight. It was a fight to get here. Like I'm so itchy and pokey right now. Like from all like the burrs and stickers. And I feel like my pants don't even look half as bad as yours. So yeah, I mean, it's, you know, it's a fight to get back here. This is not a pleasure hike.
In your book, you mentioned there was like a cup of water. Was that at this camp here? And so that was was that in the first couple of days, or was that the first night?
It wasn't the first night. I want to say it was within the first, like, it was within the first 2 weeks, because he did not want to leave here. He didn't want to like leave footprints or like have anyone be able to like trace him back up here. It was definitely here. So it was within the first like 2 months of being
Wow.
here.
Incredible story.
I swear there was something your mom told you when you got back that really helped you.
She just said, you know, they've taken so much of your life. Don't let them take any more. Like, be happy, like do the things you want to do. I agree with that. I mean, I don't necessarily think like something bad happens. It's just as easy as like walking away from it. I think emotions are a lot more complicated than that. And pain is a lot more complicated than just like, you know, making a decision. But also I think a decision is like that first step where you're like, I am going to reclaim my life.
I remember actually shortly after I was rescued thinking, wow, if I died tomorrow, what would people have to say about me at my funeral? I bet 90% of it would be about my abduction. And that is not what I want my funeral to be about. I hope people say like I was a good friend, I was funny or whatever, but not just she survived a kidnapping.
I'm going to find the things that bring me joy. I'm not going to let this ruin the rest of my life. And part of me just kind of feels like living, like experiencing life is the best medicine or the best healing. Like, I think if you sit in a room and dwell on the past, dwell on like the terrible things of life, I think it gets harder to live that way. But I mean, if you're like, you know what, I want to go run a marathon, like that's help. Like, you want to go bodybuild, like go bodybuild. You want to go travel the world, go travel the world. Like, you want to get your degree, go get your degree. You want to like start doing things. Like, you want to find someone and fall in love and get married, like you do that. And like, do you have hiccups along the way? Absolutely. But like, you work through them and you keep going.
I hope people really do realize that they are special, that they are unique. They have something wonderful to offer the world that nobody else does. I hope they recognize that circumstance or other people cannot take away their value. It doesn't matter what's happened to them. That doesn't lessen their worth in any way. And I hope that they recognize that, yes, this terrible thing has happened. It's very easy to feel defined by that, but ultimately you get to decide who you are, and you get to decide if you like the person who you are or if you're proud of the person who you are by the decisions that you make going forward. You get to decide who you are.
All right, guys. Again, sub up to Elizabeth. I think tomorrow I'll go over some more of her content. Of course, with some summer stuff. The YouTube streets have been so boring lately. I don't know. But I want to thank you guys for joining me. I'm going to go relieve my husband from babysitting duty, and my son should be home soon. And I think I'm going to go throw them cookies in the trash. I got other bags. They were only a mix. I'm going to go make my own. They'll be better. The kids will be happy. Much love to you too, Rachel. Pesamore. Peace and love. You guys have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.